Everybody press go.
We're live.
I feel like I'm frozen. Nothing is
No,
new.
you're not.
It's all good.
You're not frozen.
You're good.
Well, you're going in and out, but you look fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all haven't been together in a while.
No.
So hello, everyone. This is basically our catch-up episode of what we've been doing. We'll be telling you and each other.
Yeah. This is all new to all of us.
Yeah.
Right.
We hung out that one time outside, and then we have not seen each other since.
Was that?
You know what's
was
funny?
that June?
No, it was like
that was June.
July.
July?
No, it was June. I thought
Yeah,
it was
was
July.
it June?
That was like the later part of June. I remember there were rumors going around that we were having like drama or something. So that's why we weren't doing stuff together anymore. So that's why I wanted to.
You're trying to stop.
That's not real. Oh my God, no one cares about us that much.
Yeah, and that too.
And the people who do care about us that much know us and know that's not true.
What is up with my hair? Oh gosh.
Okay, well, sure. Let's go down the line. I'm gonna start with my screen, so we'll go Adrian, Marissa, then me. Ready, Adrian? What have you been up to?
Okay, hey everyone. It's been a long time, but well, both of y'all know have been what I've been up to. But for y'all watching, there's been a lot, to say the least. You know, it's one of those things where for me, I'm like kind of swallowing a bitter pill, because it's just one of those things where it's just like you don't think certain things can happen to you, you know, and then it happens and you're like, oh man, you know. But you know, regardless of that, life's been very beautiful, you know. Like even through all of this, I'm super thankful for growth.
Oh, that's it. He's super thankful for growth.
Yes.
The end. I'm sure he'll come back in a second. Da, na, 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 na. Da,
oh no! It's always during ours too, because this doesn't happen during like. I feel like
oh, there you go. Wait, Adrian. Okay, you said the last thing we heard was growth.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, then after that, I was like, no, because I was losing connection. No, yeah, I mean, still being able to grow during these times. It's like, it's crazy, you know? Yeah. That's about it for me for now, because I know we will all spill our teas in this video, so I'll save that. Yeah, that's it.
Go, Marissa, go.
Okay. Hey everyone. Hey 37 of you if you're from YouTube. I have been making content on my channel. I actually have been pretty consistent in the past month and a half, which is like the longest streak I've ever had on YouTube. So I'm happy about that.
Hey.
I'm definitely, thank you. I'm definitely trying to I definitely am like the most technical of all of us, but I'm trying to work more on like storytelling and visual. What are you doing? Anyways,
I'm lighting myself. Do you see this?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
I'm working on storytelling and stuff like that. I just bought this like action camera, and I bought a skateboard, a penny board, because I'm like, for one, it's like I want something to film, but two, I'm like, it's boring in quarantine, and I need a physical hobby, because it's like I'm just stuck in my room, and I can at least just go on my street and ride back and forth. That's better than nothing. I mean, I'm going to talk about this on my channel, and like I was meaning to tell Trixie, I just never got a chance to, but I went to therapy for the first time.
Congratulations!
Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but yeah. So I mean, it was a long time coming, but I'm a big girl now with big girl insurance, so I pulled the trigger. But
how's it going so far?
It's going well. No, I mean, I've only seen one so far, and it seems like a good fit. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything. But no, she seems good, and it's definitely just like I decided that it's just something that I needed.
Yay!
But that's about
it's
it.
Going well. I'm glad it's going well so far. That's good. That's good. Mine has been really shitty.
Oh no.
It's been bad. I'm really glad I went on vacation last week. Otherwise, I think I would have I already had multiple mental breakdowns, but I think I would have had it would have been very serious, I think, if I didn't get a break. And that's kind of due to a lot of things. Obviously, I already live with mental illness. I think something that I didn't actually realize was as harmful to me as it was dealing with white racist people. That's been a fun time.
Yeah.
So I kind of refocused my content. Now I'm heavily into my live show. Amplifying Black voices, talking about anti-Blackness and our culture, Filipino Asian culture. I'm bringing. I'm adding back mental health. So now I'm just having everything and renamed my live show into the Ready to Talk podcast that I have not made into an official podcast yet because I'm lazy. But it's been actually really hard. A lot of my pain and suffering that has been adding to the suffering of my mental. I'm assuming he's gonna come back.
He's gonna come back.
My mental illness is like that, dealing with racist white people who won't admit that they're doing racist things. And then also my family is not doing well. They don't have COVID. Well, some of my family did have COVID for a little bit, but it wasn't serious. But my aunt had a stroke. It's been really bad. She's been going in and out of the hospital. And I think my poor mom, because my dad is scared of COVID because he watched too much TV and basically got himself paranoid. And so my mom's still working as a nurse, and a lot of it has fallen on her to take care of my aunt. My aunt's daughter can come when she doesn't have work either, but it's a tricky thing to be we want to limit our exposure, obviously, but my aunt needs to be taken care of. And also my mom is kind of being strong for my dad because he's scared. He's old, he's 77. He's old, and also watching TV too much at this point just makes you paranoid. So honestly, that vacation was amazing. I want to go back into nature, but instead I may be starting work soon. So yeah, that's me. Dun, 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 dun. How should we move on, Adrian, girl? How come it is always when it's the three of us?
It's always the three of us, and it's
always just the three of us. Okay, well, Marissa, I'm gonna go to you, Marissa, and then Adrian can answer later.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where we should go from here, but I mean, obviously, we haven't posted on our collective channel on the Film Collective. Adrian's back. Adrian, did you have anything you called for this meeting? And is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I don't want to take the reins from you.
Thank you all for being here. That's it. No, just kidding. No,
that's it. Okay, bye.
Bye. No, I just really wanted to hold space for us to catch up, really. Because I feel there's so much that's happened, and I just feel whichever direction this whole thing goes to for an hour, or whatever, 30 minutes to an hour, I'm open. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot has happened. We've all been creating work in different capacities.
And we've been succeeding.
Yeah, we've all just been doing our own thing for now, just because it's really hard to obviously do anything together.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to discuss and where we want to go. And it's, and I mean, I'm not I'm not mad or disappointed in us at all
Mm-mm.
because I'm just like, it's just about surviving quarantine.
Yes,
And like
yeah.
a lot of things have happened and changed for each of us. And so it's like, obviously, we have to attend to those things first.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
whether it be family or job or whatever, like
Mhm.
it's just like that's just how it is. Has to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's chill because we're us.
Yeah.
Like,
Like I feel like it would, not that it would be different, but you know, we each have our own individual, you know, content creation pursuits as well, and that's already hard enough to do just our own thing.
exactly.
And like from the beginning, we always like, if we're not having fun doing this, then like we shouldn't be doing it. And
Yeah.
so that meant, okay, take a break during this time because it's really hard for everyone. And yeah, I'm not disappointed in us at all. If anything, it makes me happy to visit our page every once in a while because it's like I just the other day I was Adrian posted on our Instagram like our first scene rec got like 400 views, which is like
Almost
crazy.
500. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So and, you know, and it makes me happy, and like, you know, even though, you know, I miss doing that, like we have the memories of shooting the 3 scenes that we did get to do
pre-COVID, you know.
yeah
Like, yeah, which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's just like the thing is like I don't really worry because I know like if we're all in a space where we can pick it up again, we can, and it won't be hard. It's just going to go back to what we were doing. It's just, you know, again, like it's real weird. I don't really know what's happening. Like I'm supposed to be going back to work, but my work is like teaching.
Yeah.
So like I don't even know how that's going to work because obviously it's very strict. It's like if we don't have these many people in a class, then each class gets canceled. And I'm like, so what do I do about unemployment? Like, because technically what I would theoretically be making might be really different than what I actually make.
Yeah.
By like 90%. Like, so I'm just like,
take advantage of the unemployment, Mia Mika.
Oh, girl, I have. That's all I will say. I have. It's been like, and it's really hard, like, you know, being Filipino and just like getting money like that. There's like a strange feeling to it, but at the same time, it's like
I would not know. Please explain.
Yeah, like, you know, like you feel like it's supposed to be like, it's weird because like it's not like I ever stopped working. It's just I never stopped working on the things that didn't make me money yet, but so it's just like really odd because it's just like that alleviates most of my guilt, the fact that I've been working on things anyways, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna pretend that's what I'm getting the money for. But you know, like that want for financial independence to be like, no, what I'm like, I want it to be straight up, you know, like I'm working and making my content and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Or teaching and getting paid for it. So it's been really weird. And I actually have a question for you guys, because I know at least for dance in San Diego, a lot of people are having the conversations of like, how do we make work now? And so everyone's like, who wants to rehearse outside? Or like, who actually wants to do a Zoom rehearsal? Like, how do we create things? So how are you guys feeling like about that? And have you been thinking about it at all? Like how, you know, like say, I hope not, but maybe this goes on for another year. Like, you know, have you guys
I think it will. Work? Yeah.
Go, Adrian. Go.
Well, I was just saying, yeah, I think this whole thing is expected to go at least a year to probably 2 years, a year and a half. But to answer your question, kind of, like super kind of, because remember Marissa when we did the retro shoot, that was
Adrian.
Every time he talks, it's like when he talks too, not when we talk.
I know, seriously, like he can't freeze when like it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, let's go to you, Marissa. And then
I guess I'll pick up where Adrian left off. He mentioned that we did a photo / video shoot for,
except for Ray, I know, because
there he is.
Oh, Okay,
Oh.
it totally.
Okay, what was the last word?
You just said our retro shoot, and that's it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just finished talking. Dang it! No, I'm just
Well.
kidding. No, no. For long story short, the retro shoot that I did for my YouTube second year anniversary, that was like the first time I got to experience. Oh no, got to experience quarantine shooting. Basically, it was interesting. I was forgetting. I was like, wait, oh no, no, you know. So I think, yeah, that was really interesting. But at the moment, I'm not really like. Aside from that, I'm not really at all gearing up yet to do more in-person stuff. Just because, thankfully for all of us, for the majority, for all of us here sitting down, it's like thankfully we're easily able to shift into online. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it for me. And I thank you.
Go ahead, Marissa.
I mean, I definitely like relate to that for sure. Like I've done a couple just small shoots. Like I'm comfortable with like I would say max 5 people. If it's more than that, then I'm like iffy about that. And also I'm like I more or less the people I've worked with, like I kind of know their situation. I know if they're abiding by quarantine etiquette rules, safety. But yeah, I'm not like itching to like let's go shoot here with this person. I'm like we still gotta be careful. I also like if anything I'm more concerned about my family rather than like if I get sick. Obviously I don't want to get sick, but that's more like I'm protecting my grandpa who lives with me. And yeah, as I said, like I'm working on storytelling, so like storytelling should at least I hope to be the storyteller one day that doesn't rely on a location or even, sure, yes, I want to tell other people, help other people tell their stories one day. I've, if anything, have shifted to like want to do more documentary work. Like I feel like that's where I mean I will always have a love for narrative and be involved in whatever way I can, but like just in the world that we live, I feel like docs have a place to raise that awareness and to inspire that action that needs to be done, in many respects. But yeah, I'm working on, and I guess it lends to, I mean, I think all of us are doing internal work as well. And that's why I've been pushing myself to tell stories, but obviously in a filmic way on my channel. I mean, that's what I'm working towards. Like, my short film that I made in April that, thankfully did well in a competition.
Did really much. She won. She won.
Girl, you
but just
don't
knowing, just but like that was
first online thing. She won.
That was like confirmation.
The Phil and Film Collective made a guest appearance with a frozen moi.
Exactly. A frozen Adrian, just real life. Anyways, but yeah, it just like is affirmation that like I don't need external things. Like if I can work within the constraints of quarantine, then once I do have access to whatever and whoever, then all the better,
Yes, yeah.
That's basically where I'm at.
She won. She won, and she deserved to win.
First place.
First place Creators Offline Stay at Home Festival. Google that, everyone. She bagged the whole competition. I was speechless. I was like, yes, girl. Yes.
I mean, honestly, when you showed it to us before, like right when we entered it, I was like, dude, she's gonna win.
No.
And then I saw other people's stuff, and I was like, she's gonna win.
Not gonna lie, though.
No shade. I mean, like mine was like ghetto and weird, but like I'm like, yeah, but that's me. But I saw like.
But it's good because then you still did it,
what?
And I somehow motivated you to go through with it regardless.
You didn't do it the day of, and then you didn't do it,
and then EJ didn't do it.
It's funny.
But it's okay because someone made a short film that that's going to be aired on television, and I'm pointing the wrong way.
No, it's this way. No, yeah.
Here.
That one.
Yes.
That one.
I can't really announce it yet, though. Well, it's okay. No one's watching here. I'll announce it anyways. It's okay.
Well, I didn't say who it could have been.
Right. Oh.
Or what?
So let's just say September 1st. Y'all can check out my socials and you'll find out. Yeah. But I mean, I was telling Trixie that like I mean, maybe I told her or maybe I haven't gotten the chance to tell her, but it's interesting because I feel like we are filmmakers, although we're in like different points of our like journey. I feel like we're all like reaching a certain level of accolades, and I feel like I'm finally catching up, and it's like I'm so proud of us.
I
Yeah.
don't
There's no catch up.
Who are you catching up? You
Yeah.
already like
Well, I mean,
fun things, you weirdo.
no, I mean like on a healthy level, It's just like I mean, it's just
We all have our own paths, and you froze. Your path is frozen.
You sound ice.
It's not ice.
There's like a good minute of delay, and then he comes back.
Yeah. He's already really passionately talking,
kind of
and then
using
he's
us.
gonna.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
all we
Yeah.
heard was in a healthy way.
No, yeah.
And it stopped.
No, in a healthy way, no, because I mean, I would say that it's like a standard that I use for myself. Just kind of like if they can make it here, then I'm like should be able to make it there too.
What?
If
What?
that makes sense.
No. Not
No?
to me. No. What?
No,
It's a little.
Well, because
it's like inspiration.
Thanks, Clark.
stuff.
Clark
I
just
think,
subbed.
I think you're. Oh, hi, Clark. Adrian, I think you're selling yourself short and forgetting things that you've
Oh,
done.
so thank you. Oh, thank you too, Trixie. Sorry.
No, like that's why my face is like this. Because if anything, I'm just like I feel like I'm playing like, and I'm not trying to turn this into like, oh my god, I'm playing catch up. But like, I don't want the conversation to be that because that's gonna annoy all of us. But like, hi, Clark. Like you've done stuff, man. Like we're all doing different things. Like it's just, and and we've all started and focused on different things too. So it's just gonna like I feel like and it joy to support Adrian.
Yeah.
Not
Adrian.
Adrian. We are all at different points and we focus on very different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like especially right now we're super focused on
Trixie's dance and mental health, and then Marissa's is
self-care.
She says like narrative / documentary.
Yeah.
And also just like being an immigrant creator, like I mean, it's not like I'm perfect in staying in the mindset, but it's like it's so abundant. Yeah. Like I find myself on the weirdest sides of YouTube all the time, and I'm just like, this person has 1 million subscribers. But it's like they're talking about skateboards, like
yeah. It's just there's like enough for everyone, really. Yeah. We're all going to speak to different people, and there's like billions of people on this planet, so it's just like it's not a big deal. Like, and for me, going back to like the question I actually asked originally, I am getting bored, and I'm also petty. I'm bored and petty, and I the petty part comes from again talking to the racist white people. And certain people who just keep giving excuses for things and just like don't want to give the community, don't really want to address the community, and not really thinking about like really thinking just about themselves monetarily, which like obviously is important because I think about myself monetarily too. We all do. But like having excuses or not wanting to jump on the, this is technology now bandwagon, and it's just like, okay, well, fine. I'm more tired than I have been of waiting for other people to start stuff. So I want to start making work again with dance, but I just don't know I'm going to do it yet. Whether that means Zoom or like if I want to film outside and I'm going to use like the same thing, but like book people, you know what I mean? Like at different times, I'm like, my camera is going to be here for this shot. You're going to come for this 30-minute slot. You here, and then go to lunch, and then we'll like, like cut and paste so like people stay healthy. Because like I don't want to like, like there are ways to do things healthy, and we do have to adapt. But I also don't want to be like, I'm gonna call them out, like the stupid Awaken Church, like down the street from me. Like they're horrible. Like they're just there, like in groups without masks. They have signs that are just like, we'll believe you if you say there's a medical reason you aren't wearing your mask. It's just like they're just being dicks. You're all dicks. Like, and God does, like, that is not God.
No.
It makes me super mad. Like, that is not God. Like, it is not protecting your fellow man. It is being very disrespectful. It's you being petty. Like, like, it's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
So I want to make work because, like, that's a big part of my joy. And I will also obviously find ways to make work by myself, like in my own spaces. But I also just, I don't know, I miss being with other people too, especially with dance. It's so, like, I just did an intensive this week, and though it was like great, it was beautiful, it's also just really hard because when you're a dancer, like, part of the experience is literally feeling the energy from everyone else around you. Like that common, like, and that common awareness too of just being a common awareness and respect, so you don't freaking hit someone and like slap someone in the face. It's like you do have to be aware and keep your distance and keep all that, and then also feel each other with like how to move and all that. And I miss that so much. I miss that so much. Like,
speaking of dance tricks, see, I was just thinking about, as a dancer thing, I was just thinking about contact improv. Like, I wonder how that's gonna be. That the dance is gonna be.
It's gonna have. It should die out for a while unless people live with each other. Like, that's my opinion, and I'm like, honestly, no one should be partnering unless they already live with each other. Like, please don't touch each other.
I think it can still continue to exist, probably online, because I feel like you can even go with that on a somatic and a meta level,
It's true. You can partner with the floor.
Yeah, or like seeing. Yeah, sorry. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I know, I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh, contact improv. Like, when I used to dance, like, actively, I love contact improv.
Me too. That's my favorite. It's my favorite kind of dancing.
I know.
And I like partnering.
It's like sex without sex.
I mean,
whoa.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, kind of. Except for there's no. Okay, so that's the thing. Like, it's sex. It's okay. It's a lot of touching without any of the sex, because that's why I like contact improv, and it's a very like. The whole community, like contact improv community, like if you make it sexual, like everyone will be like, no, get the fuck out.
Yes,
because it's not supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing contact improv, you end up touching weird places. It's just how it is. Like, if you're falling
crevices and keys and crannies and
it's like if someone was falling, I would rather them like use me to help break their fall and like drag all across my boobs and whatever than them just like fall. Like, it's like, no, I want to help save you.
Right.
So there has to be like a lot of trust there to be like, this isn't sexual at all. This is very much like partnership and
it's
like
art.
Respect and art.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else to add? I'm just going to ask another question if there isn't anything else to add.
I feel like Marissa has a question. Go, Spill.
I don't have a question. No, I was just thinking.
It looked like you're about to ask the question.
No.
Okay,
go ahead, Trixie. Go.
I'm gonna ask my questions. So, I mean, BLM. How is everyone doing on their own journeys, and how is everyone feeling about the progress or lack of progress in your personal spaces, or like the spaces of like the companies and organizations you frequent? Marissa, you go first.
For me, I think, starting with social media, I personally it died down so much. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'll be honest, I'll take ownership of this. I stopped posting, and not because like I don't think it's important, but I don't post unless it's something that like, this is so new, and I don't think people that follow me would know this. Because I follow people that, for the most part, or that follow me that are on the same page, and I don't want to create an echo chamber. That's why I did connect my YouTube, my Instagram and Facebook, because like obviously on Facebook, the people that need to hear certain things are there, rather than on Instagram, where I think more like-minded people are. in terms of like my own, like I definitely been more conscious about what I'm buying and where I'm buying from. I'm still trying to find the best way to, like, you know, find out. And obviously, like, something that's cool about my company that I work for is that we're a franchisor, and our franchisees are all across the nation, and we have made sure that they have the ability to put like Black owned or woman owned on their website. So like that makes me very happy. And we've had more conversations in my workplace, and it's not just take this training and that's it. Like we actually talk about it at the meetings and everything. In terms of like my own like family, like I've had conversations with my parents. My parents are Gen Xers. They're pretty young for having a 26-year-old, but thankfully they weren't like super like, you know, racist. But I call them out. I tell them why things are not okay, especially with like being Filipino and just the whole dark skin, light skin talk, colorism. Yeah, I'll be honest, like again, like it's one of those things where I am self-aware enough that since I don't see it as often and maybe I don't think about it as much. And that's something I just have to work on, you know? And I'll be honest.
Adrian, do you want to go next?
Segue.
Or
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay. I was
just asking, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
Oh, I'll go next. Save you for last since you asked the question. But no, I mean for me too. I know that this whole thing for me, it's kind of become a lot more like a silent journey. You know, and I don't know. I mean, I have to admit that it does feel like other things, like life. I want to say life priorities, but other things literally happened in my life where that took precedence first,
Yeah.
and like I had to like tell myself that me not being able to show up to these protests, you know, doesn't mean at all that I'm not, you know. But even in that, I'm able to really reflect and understand why I decide to show up to these things and actually what can I do outside of them. And yeah, I mean I think for me it's really for the long haul, and I don't at all claim to be super activist, but I feel like I really try my best to do what I can to educate myself, and it's hard, it's hard in the sense of like kind of unlearning the things that we've grown to learn, so I feel like I've just really been allowing to let that kind of wash me, and trying not to judge it too much. Yeah. But also keeping myself accountable. Like, and I guess what I mean by that is like I've had way many more moments catching myself while also catching, well, I mean, I think more so for me, just catching myself acting or thinking a certain kind of way. And I'm like, no, like, no. And then actually understanding why. So
Yeah,
that's important for me.
Sorry.
Oh,
The unconscious biases are definitely, like, I'm a lot more aware of them.
Yes.
Like, even not just about race, about sex, about even as a queer person, even just it's crazy to not crazy, but it's interesting and new to really just be more aware of things that like are taken for granted, and then trying to unlearn that and reframe it in a way that's progressive and not keeping us in this darkness of hate and stuff.
Yeah. That's so real. So for me, part of the reason why I'm keeping my live show going as it is just because I'm like, this is a way I can integrate this into my life and to where I can't forget about, like, not can't forget about it, but I'm giving myself less of an out to think about it because I'm focusing on amplifying Black voices, you know, and it's just like that. And I'm not doing it because of that. Like, that sounds weird. I'm not saying like I'm doing it to self-serve myself, but I'm trying to put myself in positions where I'm like, hey, don't forget. And I've also have been changing what kind of spaces I'm being in. So being in more BIPOC spaces, especially when it comes to dance, there's been a lot of unrest in our San Diego BIPOC dance community, and we're all coming together and being like, oh shit, I have that same story too. Or like, it's been really interesting because we all have like the same really fucked up experiences. So it's been cool to join together. And then also I'm gearing towards not addressing organizations anymore, but instead I want to address policy and commissions who give those organizations money. Because I mean, that's as far up the ladder I feel comfortable going for now, because I don't even really want to go there. But basically I'm just like, I really think that's if basically what I want to do is defund all the top white organizations so that all the BIPOC community spaces who have tried so hard to get any sort of diversity grants and have been turned down, like to get any sort of money, like that's where I have to go. Like I need to go at the top. Like obviously there's racism in that institution. Like that's what systemic racism is. It's just like, it's not just organizations, it's the people who give them money, and then it's the people who oversee the giving of money, and then, you know, like traveling up. So I'm traveling up a rung, and it's weird because I'm excited, but I also like, I hate politics. So, but it's just like, but it's that part where it's just like, but at this point, it's human rights, and this is how I can address human rights.
Yeah.
Like that's just like, that's how I see it right now. So like, that's interesting, but also like, I love all the things that people have been putting out there to like amplify Black voices, like the Hubbard Street Collective by this dancer Irisha, who she danced with my god sister, since so I met her when she was young and I was in college. It was really random. But like, she's like, so many people are doing so many great things with her platform. I have a friend named Chase, and he's also specifically looking for BIPOC people to uplift and amplify their voices. And he's very I want to connect you to him. Like he's very motivated by the fact that it's very personal for him. You know, like he found me looking for hashtag like Filipino like creative or something on Twitter, and I was one of the only 5 or some shit like that. I can't remember the exact hashtag.
I'm gonna be number 6. Like, Marissa's gonna be number 7.
Like it was so interesting, and that's how he found me. And he found me because he has a friend who is a Filipino creator who, in their area, because they're like Texas, feels super alone. You know, like has no one in their community. And so I was just like, oh, how beautiful. Because it's just like, you know, like that. It's always like those personal things that really make you want to make those changes. You know, like however it is, whether it's like you identify with someone who's going through a hard time, or that someone is like your friend or loved one. So it's exciting to see all the different things people are doing. And it is hard to like make this a normal part of your life. Like it's super hard to catch all those things. Like a lot of, for me, the things that I'm catching, and it's so hard because it's like the decolonization part. Like, because it's like, we're Filipino, and the Philippines was super colonized by America. And like, that's like a thing. Like, that's a literal thing that happened to us. And so like our mentality, trying to figure out what part of the Filipino mentality I want to keep, because I feel like it belongs here, and that's, you know, like our soul, that's our heart, and what actually is the colonizer part. Like, what is me being humble and generous versus me not asking for what I'm worth? and not thinking I'm worth things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very fucking difficult, but like it's important. And another part of it too, like it's just like a couple weeks, well, maybe it's probably a month now, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I forgot I'm indigenous. Like I'm of indigenous blood. Like that's who I am. And like that's like just that meaning. And like, because I guess I've been lucky, like, because you know, I grew up in an organization that my parents were in, like a lot of our family friends and our family is in, like BBOC, so like it helped me grow up with other indigenous people. But now like growing up later and figuring out like, well, how else was that also even just like fucked up within the Philippines? You know, like what does it mean for like people to be treated different because they are indigenous or looked down, you know, like like because it's like I'm Igorot, and a lot of people like there's a joke where it's like, oh, you're egot, and you know, and people like super laugh at you. It's like, oh, like, you know, and it's, and like not understanding those things or just being like, okay, I guess, and just, you know, that mindset where you just like kind of brush things off because they're just like uncomfortable. And then now like is a great time to look back at all those times where you like brush things off because you were uncomfortable, but it really meant, you know, it really meant letting other people treat you like mistreat you. And
it's called being a woman.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I'm like kidding, but like not kidding.
No, like I totally agree, because it's like a lot of it is very much looking at like how women are not protected. Like, and that's even like super true. It's just like, look, fucking Breonna Taylor's like murders have not been arrested or anything. Like look now, like it's been so long. It's just like, you know, the protection of women is lacking.
Yeah.
It's so lacking. Like I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it, but like that part of it, you know, that intersection is a super important intersection. You know?
Definitely,
like,
definitely.
Especially like, not especially, but like, you know, like us as Asians and like being an Asian woman and what that like being aesthetic, you know, for other people. Like we're a whole porn, huge porn.
Or like the double like dose of like, you're a woman, so you're obedient, but like you're also an Asian woman, so you're even more obedient. Like, we're not dogs.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
So that's been, so it is like a long-term thing. Holding ourselves accountable, like holding myself accountable has been really interesting, because right, like you don't know how many internalized normal things you fucking do until like you make yourself pay attention, and not just and like what Marissa said, not even just for Black people, but for gay people too, or for women, even like fellow women, or like people who are handicapped, like people who have a disability. It's just, you know, and I feel like a good example of like people just being like, oh, this is too much work is like, you know, like the pronouns, like she, hers, his, whatever, like people want to be. And they're just like, oh, they like, this always been this way. Why can't we? And it's just like, when I think about it, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's really not.
Like like, unless some person is making it a big deal to you and they shouldn't be, you know, like, they don't know and they're not correcting you well and they're just yelling at you, like it's not really going to be a big deal, because it's just you're going to get a correction and then you correct it, and of course you're going to make mistakes and you're going to say it again. But if you like mean it, if you actually are earnest about your changing, it's going to be fine.
Yeah,
it's going to be fine.
Yeah,
it's going to be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions?
I thought I had one, but then I lost it.
Oh, okay. I'll go first while you try to remember yours, Marissa.
You go, Adrian. Yeah.
What would be one thing that you'd what let me get my words together. What would be that one thing you would definitely say that you're proud of that you
Part 4, y'all.
Part 4.
Part 4. Hardcore part 4.
Part 4. What are most proud of? Come on, Adrian, come back. Oh
Timmy,
no.
I want to say we could answer the question, but maybe not.
I know, I don't know.
Like, it sounds like he was gonna make it really specific.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Here we go. Here we go.
There we
Here
go. Come on.
Your question?
Okay.
back? Oh, sorry. You know, actually, when I go off, I like listen here. I'm like listening to catch up. So super long story short, what would be the one thing that you're definitely proud of during this this part of our lives? One thing, whether it's a process, experience, lessons learned. Whoever wants to start.
For me, it's very internal. Like I look in the mirror, and it's not just like a physical like I love that person, but like the fact that I could say like I love that person and like I would do anything for her is insane. Like it really is. Like I definitely, you guys know, like, but then quarantine hit and it just like a mess for all of us. But just knowing that like I am worth so much and like I would do anything for myself. And like obviously it's not always perfect, and there's still days where it's like I question my worth and my value. You know, that's just the nature of being human and also just unpacking and unlearning certain things. But like for the most part, I feel like I've reached that, which is like insane. Because I even think about just like I would say my happiest in college, you know, when it's like life is so simple, but I'm like, not that it was fake, but I just like I still was not at a point where it's like you're worth so much. Like it's okay if you're not for everyone. Like that's always gonna be the case. That's okay. Like making peace with that.
That is so liberating, right? That
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you feel that for yourself. That's so nice.
Yeah. I know that's like very like
that's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. And again, I said I'm not perfect at it, but like I've definitely had these peaks of like, yo, like higher self is like here.
Yay, I'm glad. That's beautiful. I will go next. Adrian, you can finish because this is your question. I think this is like, I don't know, I guess it just sounds crass, but I guess I always sound crass. I'm most proud that I give less of a fuck like about like being polite. Or like, and I don't actually mean polite, like I being like with the norm. Like I don't like I'm okay, I'm not for cancel culture. That's not what I'm for.
Yeah.
I am definitely for calling people out though.
Yeah.
Like publicly. I'm not it has been proven over and over again to me, like in front of my face and on TV, that like some people won't do shit unless you call them out.
Yeah.
So I'm proud that that's a mindset that has shifted in me, because that's actually something I really regret is, again, like looking back at all those times where I didn't say anything for someone. I didn't stand up for them. Like I let them have really sexist things or really racist things or really hurtful things said to them. And I didn't do anything because I was like, oh, well, if they're not making a fuss, then I guess it's okay. Or I don't want to ruin my chances of moving up in this organization or in this job. Like I so regret that because it's fucked up. And I mean, I understand why I did it. It's just because like, that's how we all operated, right? That's how we all operated. And so I'm really proud that I can see that that's different. So hopefully my hope is that, you know, I do that less and less and less and less. And I feel comfortable and honestly, I feel like this has only been available to me in quarantine. Like, it's a very privileged thing I can do because, yeah, like right now I don't work for anyone. I'm on unemployment, and all the people that things could promise me and opportunities, I'm like, you can't even really do it because we're in COVID. So why should I even give a fuck? Like, you can't like, hi,
Hi, Chris.
Like, why? So that's what I'm most proud.
I like that.
Okay, Ejan.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me talk as fast as I can before I lose my signal. Okay, I think for me it's, oh gosh, I just had it. I'm losing my train of thought. I think it's being able to show, like, understand what it really feels like to show up as I am. I feel like, I feel like just anytime before COVID lockdown, I feel like I've always had to put on this, I wouldn't call it a facade, but this kind of like suit of like being always happy, always being, optimistic. And I am, but I think too, like the other half of that is like, I'm so like vulnerable and I'm so empathic, I'm like this.
You were so close.
Yeah. You were so
Let's
close.
just do this until he comes back. We go and dance with you.
Dance.
It's got like, I feel like we have 10 more seconds before his things restarts. I feel like that's where we are. It's been pretty like on point.
It has been pretty consistent.
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait it out.
Grace Moore is
there you go,
Yes.
Okay, go. Keep going. You're unfrozen. No, keep talking before.
Just my sensible, my emotional side. Not pushing it away. I think just embracing, like literally embracing my emotions more as an older, a older younger adult. Because I feel like back then it was a lot easier for me, but as for getting older, I feel like it's becoming harder for me to like embrace my emotions, and I think that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm proud of, is to be like, I'm okay with not being okay on some days. Good. And also standing up for myself. Yes. Like, don't talk to me like that. Like, don't project what you think of me. Yeah, that's it. And I thank you.
What is that?
Nothing.
I don't know. Maybe that's my YouTube. I spelled it wrong. It's the Thoughtful Beast. I don't know if it's like spaced out with words. I'm pretty sure it's one word because we all have to be one word. Marissa, do you have a question? You don't have to, but do you have one?
I mean, I think it will be a good closing question. I kind of just thought of it now.
Okay.
I mean, I know we in the beginning basically said what we were currently doing and what we're up to, but I guess, and I get it, like I'm definitely on a one day at a time kind of plan in quarantine. Obviously, for the rest of my life, I'm just one day at a time, because anything more than that is pretty stressful. But like, what are you looking forward to? And it could be like content wise, like what do you look forward to like working on? Or I know there's not a lot to look forward to these days, but
I know
just has to be something, I think.
I'll go first. I'm looking forward to making more, like getting back into my own content, especially like with my dance films that I'm doing at home, because now I have a real camera that Marissa told me to get. She's the one who helped me pick out my camera, or basically she picked out my camera because I trust her and I know nothing. So I'm excited to do that, and I'm excited to do it also because I mean I think it's already like pretty obvious, but sometimes not. Like there's a lot of like anger that I have held and that I mask, that I'm realizing that I mask so much. Because it's like, I mean, I am a positive person. I know, like, my whole thing was like, I don't give a fuck. But, like, I'm a pretty positive person. Like I try to be very, like, kind and empathetic and welcoming. And also, I've been kind of realizing in quarantine that I do a lot of masking still. So every time I write my spoken words, I mean, I don't even care anymore. I think some of the shit I'm going to write is going to totally be like, come off as like, I'm 16 and I'm mad. But I don't
That's what it is. It's your inner child just looking to like,
like
needing a
why
hug.
do you think I bought a skateboard? My inner teenager is like, you did not have your teen years.
Why do you think I keep going back to super old commercials from 2001?
Like, that's just where I'm like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna put it out there, and I don't even care anymore. Because for me, it feels very like cathartic, and I know other people relate, but it's just like, you know, I can't help it. It's not like I like tried to write something pretty, and it just came out like as not. And I was like, I need to stop fighting it, you know? Like, I just need to not fight it. Like, it's fine. So I'm excited to get back to that. Yes, that.
Ooh, I'm excited for you.
Go, Maria. Oh, wait.
No, it's my question.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, y'all better pray for me. My signal.
Okay, go.
Oh, shoot. I should have been thinking. I can't think of anything. There are certain things that I'm excited for right now, and you both know I can't say it yet. Okay, fine.
No, don't say it. Just that. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Let's come out during proper times.
No, yes, yeah.
Because that's the thing.
You're right. Okay. So that would be it, because just to kind of talk about that, like I was making art during some of like the roughest moments of the year for me, and I'm like pretty surprised that it actually it was received well. And when the time comes, September 1, you'll find out what it is, and it's like it's just nice to be able to see like a fruition of your hard work, especially when it feels like nothing is happening.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So that's really it for me. I mean, I'm very much still continuing to do the same thing, hustling for my YouTube channel, trying to stay hopeful and strong. And like what Marissa said, one day at a time. And like what Trixie is saying, giving ourselves the opportunity to let out what we're feeling versus suppressing it, thinking that it's okay, So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it. I made it.
You made it!
Yay! That was like the first response that you didn't brace for.
Right.
I'm looking forward to like just continuing to make the content. Like I feel like this again. I know I'm very privileged to be able to say this, but like quarantine has definitely like reinvigorated my love for like filmmaking and storytelling because I have so much time to just focus on just that. Whereas before lockdown, it's just like go to work, come back. Hopefully you have energy to make a YouTube video. Who knows? But just really get back into that and like understanding what like my voice is and the stories I want to tell. Like as I said, like I want to do more documentary. Like once it's safe to interview people and be in person, because I've always like liked stuff like Anthony Bourdain, like Parts Unknown. Like I love stuff like that where it's like real people, real stories, culture, and all of that. I'm definitely getting more into like sustainability and understanding that we're killing the planet. Like it's so hot right now. And what can we do? Because like if everyone just did 1% better, like it would do a lot for us as a humankind. Yeah, I think. Oh, and then I do resonate with Trixie. Like the stuff I write, sometimes it sounds like super young, but it's just like you have to honor those parts of yourself. Like you do. Like, from my perspective, just like there's certain songs that have been released during this time, which is like I'm amazed by the musicians that are just like releasing stuff and just shooting stuff in their bedroom. I'm like, I love that. But just there's this one artist, his name's Troy Sivan, and he released a song called Rage Your Teenager, and he had like a whole voice memo like about what it was about, and it was like basically missing your teen self, and like we're both queer, and just like understanding that like you didn't really give yourself, like you didn't like, not that you weren't living, but it's just like you suppressed so much of yourself for so long, and even now being 20 something, like you still have yet to like let her free, like let her live. And of course it's an interesting time right now, but like let her out. Like she deserves to feel the joy that like you're free to have now. So I'm honoring that as well in my, not just in my content, but just in general.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. So let's just, I guess that was our ad question. So I guess it's time to sign off.
Wait, I had one more question, actually.
Okay, well I have to leave though because it is 6.
Okay, my bad. Okay, I'll just save it for next time then.
Yeah.
We'll have to save it for next time.
Yeah.
So let's sign off. Tell everyone where they can find you. I'll start off. So Trixie, the Thoughtful Beast, and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm sure if you type that all in, you'll also find my Facebook page. Yeah, that's me, Marissa.
And I'm Marissa. You can find me at Marissa. Oh, okay. That was the first time. Anyway, Marissa Rojas. I'm at Marissa May Rocks. Am I still frozen?
No, keep going.
Okay, I was about to say, like, you guys were acting like I was like still frozen. Anyways, Marissa May Rocks. If you're on our YouTube channel, our channels are there, so you can just click.
Yes.
Adrian.
What Marissa said, you will find all of our informations at the Phil and Film Collective YouTube page. If you go to your right section, that's where it is, and that's where you'll find us. Oh, thanks, Trixie. Yeah. And I just wanted to say that I'm super thankful that we were finally able to do this, because believe it or not, I've been trying to kind of like get everyone together for a while, but life's been intense.
Crazy.
Life's been crazy. But I don't know about y'all, but I feel like this one felt right. And we actually just kind of came together and confirmed like within the last 2 hours. We're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go live today.
Yeah, because it worked out. Like,
yeah,
it was like, oh, okay, my thing was canceled. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay. Okay, well, this
Thanks,
was super fun. Thanks for everyone the 2 people who were watching this, and whoever will be watching this in the future.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.